So we'll get away with a trusty block for today and sitting pose. It's going to take a few minutes to sit here and breathe and settle. So a comfortable position for you. And just letting the spine lengthen itself out and shoulders roll back. Giving ourselves an opportunity to focus in on our body, calm our mind a little bit about the practice we're going to undertake. And we'll bring the fingers onto the collarbones and start to make some angel wings. So just drawing the elbows across and up and out and down. And trying to let the hips relax as the shoulders draw up. So imagine that shoulders up, hips go down in that order, and then see if we can reverse the arms. So move around in the opposite way. And we'll float the arms out nice and wide and just bring that right arm across the chest into a surface stretch, breathing into the back of the shoulder blades. And then release. Take the arms out wide again, and then bring that across the opposite way. And you can release from there and untangle the legs, give them a little stretch out, and we'll make our way up onto all fours. So just crossing the ankles over, rolling onto the shins, moving the block out a little bit to the side. Just taking a little time, spread the fingers out, knees about hip distance apart, drawing the belly in a little bit, marauding from side to side. And then when you're ready, we're going to take the breath forwards, roll the shoulders back, tuck the tailbone, draw the belly in, and let ourselves lift high. Inhale forwards, and exhale back. One more. We'll sit back onto the heels into a child's pose, just taking the hands forwards gently, head to the ground. Walk the fingers out as far as you can, keep them a little wider than the shoulders. And see if you can relax the deltoids and pectoral muscles and latissimus dorsi. And walk the fingers back in. Allow ourselves to take the hands up towards the sky on the breath. Return to our right, just dropping the hands down into a little twist. And taking the hands back up, crossing over to the other side. And then we'll bring the hands back to the front, swing the feet out to the side. And allow ourselves to come down onto the ground. We draw the right knee in, take the hands around the back of the thigh, interlacing the fingers, and just lengthening that leg out towards the ceiling. We're going to flex the foot, spread the toes, ease the heel towards the sky, draw the hip back down to the floor so it feels like the pelvis is moving into the ground a little bit. And then bring that foot back down to the floor and swap over to the opposite side. So we'll lengthen that leg out, easing into a straight leg, spreading the toes. Last breath. Take both legs up towards the sky as you release the hands and take the arms out wide, nice crucifix style. Cross the right leg over the left and then see if you can hook your foot around the back of the calf. As you bend the knees, have the shins parallel to the ground. So take the right arm up to the sky and the left arm over the top. Bend at the elbows, bring the palms together so it into a supine eagle pose. Keeping the belly drawn in lightly and the spine on the floor. Draw the shoulders down. And release the arms and the legs. Legs go high. Cross them over the opposite way. See if we can hook round or get as close as we can. Left arm across, right arm over the top. And bend at the elbows again. And release. And take the legs to the sky for the last time. Point the toes up this occasion. Try and let the legs really lengthen out. Belly drawn in, lower back into the floor. And then we'll release the knees back down. Gonna roll onto the right side. Press the hands into the floor to lift up. Just slide the feet round to the back of the mat and come back up, and we'll take that cat-cow again. So just coming onto all fours. Chest comes forwards. Allow ourselves to roll the spine out. Inhale forwards and exhale. And we'll come back into neutral. Sit ourselves back down into that child's pose, taking the hands forwards again. And we'll lift the head, look towards the hands, take it into a side bend, over to the left. Just walking the right hand out a little more. And looking towards the hands again, we take them over to the opposite side. And come back into the center. We're going to lift ourselves up slowly and tuck the toes underneath. We're just going to lift the knees about an inch off the floor. So you press into the heels a little bit, starting to crunch the toes up. Draw the shoulders back so they're not around the ears. Push away from the floor. Keep the head in line with the rest of the body. And then we'll open that up. So we're just going to take the hips towards the back of the mat and let them lift up towards the sky into our down dog. And we're going to walk the dog out. First one of the day, just easing gently from side to side, pedaling the feet, enjoying that nice stretch down the back of the calf, under the heel into the arch of the foot, waking the toes up a little bit, checking the knuckles are nicely attached to the ground, no hand gaps. And we'll take that into some scissors. So we're going to take the left foot up, point the toes out, open the hip, come up on the tiptoes, try and keep that top leg straight as you can, which is not as easy as it sounds. One more breath. And then hinge the foot down to the floor. Take the other leg up on the breath, coming in. Get up onto the tippy toes. Try and keep both arms strong so you don't drop into that bottom elbow. One more breath. And hinge the foot gently down to the floor. Let the hands walk in towards the toes, back of the mat, into our first forward fold. Hang here a moment. And gently pressing the feet into the floor to open out the back of the legs. And then we can bring the hands under the hips. Take a breath in. Exhale up slowly. That's flat back. And then we'll shake it all out. Take a little walk up to the front of the mat. And arrive with the feet about hip distance apart. And parallel. We're going to soften the knees over the toes. Take the hands forward, just down in front of the shoulders to start with. We'll sit down a little deeper. Try and keep the spine long. And then take the arms a little wider and higher, so they're more in line with the body. And I'm going to draw the hands in towards the heart. Load the weight into the left leg. Right leg lifts. We take it back into a lunge slowly. Drop the heel in and open up. Turn the toes to the side. Take the arms out into that star shape. Bring the hands back in as you turn the toes towards the front of the mat. Allow yourself to lean over the front knee. Take a little breath and step back up to the front of the mat. We're going to soften the knees. We're just going to practice that a few more times, repeating from side to side. So we're going to sit down deep. Take the hands high. Bring the hands in. Shift the weight. Left foot comes up this time. Just slow reach back. Place the foot, drop the heel, and as you come up, you turn the toes, straighten the legs, take the hands out wide. Hands into the heart. Turn the toes. Lengthen forwards. Take a little step up to the front of the mat. Soften the knees. Inhale high. Get a little lower. Hands into the heart. Shift into the left foot. Right foot back slow. Drop the heel in. Straighten the front leg. Turn the toes. Take the arms out into star. Hands into the heart. Turn the toes towards the front mat. Press away. And step forwards. Sink. Arms high. A little lower. Hands into the heart. Shift to the right. Left leg back, slow lunge. Drop the heel in. Open the front leg, turn the toes into that star. Hands into the heart. Turn to the front. Arms out in front. And a little step. So that was nice and easy. Inhale high. Hands into the heart. Soften the knees. Take the hands high. Shift down a little further. Weight into the left foot. Hands in towards the heart as the right foot comes away. Allow yourself to drop the foot to the back of the mat into the lunge. This time we're opening up into warrior two. Turning the palm on the front hand for reverse warrior. Coming back into warrior two. And drop the front hip into the extended side angle. Taking the hand over to the front of the mat. Coming back up. Warrior two. Hands to the heart. Press forward. Spin the back heel. And step it through. Take the hands high. Hands into the heart. Soften the knees. Inhale, hands high as you shift down a little further. Start to bring the weight into that right foot, hands into the heart. Left foot back into the lunge. Can't speak and do. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Come back into warrior two. Drop the front hip, extend out. Extended side angle, keep the chest open to the long side. Coming back up, breath in, warrior two. Hands into the heart. Press it forward, spin the back heel, and a little step into the front of the mat. Inhale high. Hands through the heart, this time a forward fold. And as you arrive, we'll step the right and the left leg back into plank. We'll come into half plank, so pushing forwards. Taking up dog. Into down dog. Holding here. So working that down dog as high as we can with the hips. We'll draw the right knee into the chest. Bring the foot through between the hands. Take a little breath. Press off the toes into the forward fold. Hands onto the hips, and we lift. And we'll do that one more time. Hands high. Into the heart. Exhale down to the floor. Right foot, left foot back into plank. Come forwards into half planks. Take the up dog. Down dog. Roll over the toes if you can, or just stepping the feet in, your choice. Draw the left knee in tight. Bring the foot through. Take a little breath. Into the forward fold. Hands into the hips and we lift. Inhale high. Exhale down. Taking the right foot back only. Dropping the heel in. Bring the hands alongside the hips to open up into our warrior twos. Bring the hands towards the heart. Press forwards as you spin through the back heel. Lower the hands to the floor. Step back into the plank. Half plank. Up dog. To down dog. Now we'll draw the right knee into the chest, bring the foot through, and we'll take the right hand onto the right hip, turn the chest in towards the thigh, take the right hand to the sky into the twist. Now turn the palm forwards, bring the hand down to the ground, back into the lunge, stepping through to the forward fold. Again, we repeat that to the opposite side. So inhale high, exhale low. And left foot back, drop the heel in, hands alongside the hips, open up into our warrior two. hands into the heart. Press forwards, lower down to the floor with intent. Step it back to plank, half plank, up dog, into down dog. And draw the left knee in this time, bring the foot through. Left hand onto the left hip as we turn the body. Take the hand high, strong back leg pressing out through the heel. Letting the body open up to the side. Turn the palm forwards. Take the hand down to the floor. Little breath. And step into the front of the mat. Bring the hands onto the hips. Let ourselves lift up. Inhale high. Bring the hands in towards the heart. So we've got about half a minute with the eyes closed. Hopefully, the feet arrived from that last sequence, front of the mat, parallel and hip distance apart and in line. If it doesn't feel like that, maybe you would like to open your eyes and have a little look and see where you've landed. Allow yourself to spread the toes and press the feet down into the floor and the legs down, being careful to avoid pressing into the back of the knee. Allow the belly to draw in and the hips just tuck a little bit underneath so that tailbone comes forwards and the belly draws in. Even though the feet stay rooted, you try and press the thighs together just a little bit. And then we can open the eyes. Just shake that out a little bit. We're coming into our dancers or the Grace Jones pose, if you want to call it that. So, first thing we're going to do is bring the feet together. And if you know that you like to use a wall, just have that close by. We're going to take this into our right leg. So we'll take a little breath, press the weight down into that thigh, and allow the left leg to come up. Now you need to find something to focus on really that's not moving. So listening to my voice rather than watching the picture. I'm going to draw the left heel in towards the buttock and take the left hand down to find the ankle. And then allow yourself to keep hold of the ankle. Draw the heel in towards the buttock and the knee down towards the floor. Now again, get used to drawing the pubic bone forwards just as we did when we were standing. And check that your front knee that you're standing on, or leg that you're standing on, is not buckling under too much. You're keeping your hips square to the front of the mat. Now you're going to take the right hand towards the sky, point the fingers up, draw the ribs down towards the hips. They tend to flare up a little bit. Now you're slowly going to start to press the left knee towards the back of the mat by pressing the shin away. And you want to try and keep the body upright at this point. And just open it out. See where we get to. And then if you wish to start to take it forwards a little bit, you hinge at the hips, but keep them square to that front leg. And then we draw ourselves back in slowly. Line the knees up. And then release the foot down to the floor. Shake out the legs a little bit. from side to side. Just give that right foot a little bit of time to relief itself. Bring the toes together again. Shift the weight into the left leg. Draw the right knee high. Bring the heel in. Find the ankle. And then as the heel of the buttock join, you try and take the knee down towards the floor. And taking the left hand towards the sky, draw pubic bone forwards, ribs down. And then we see if we can start to press that shin and knee on the right side back. Just taking it slowly. It's a slow stretch so that you can keep your balance. Try not to twist off. And then again, if you wish to come forwards, you hinge. Now, as you hinge, you want to try and remember to keep pressing into the back foot. And a little bend comes into the knee, just to keep it safe. And then we bring it forwards again with control. Bring the foot down to the floor. Whew. Shake out the legs, come back onto the mat. Now we will need that block back again, so we just draw that back to the side of the mat. Once we're on the front, we'll take the hands high, bring the hands in towards the heart and just exhale slowly forwards and down to the floor. Take a little breath. We're stepping back into down dog just for a moment to stretch the legs out. We'll bring the knees to the ground. Sit back into child's pose. Just for a couple of breaths. And we'll lift up again. We'll swing the feet out to the side. Bring the block underneath. Taking the legs out in front. So Dandasana, hands by the side of the body, legs out in front, flexing the feet back, spreading the toes. Nice big shoulders. And we're going to take Janu Shirshasana. So we'll bring the left heel into the groin. Let the knee come down towards the floor. A little bend in the front knee. Square the hips back up to the front of the mat. Lift up the ribs. Everything lifts up. We fold over the thigh. Take the hands out onto the toes. And then just lift the chest high. Draw the foot back a little bit and lengthen the heel out slowly. So as we do that, we try and draw the hip on the same side back a little bit. And we can release. And we'll take it over to the second side. So square the body, a little bend in the knee, lift everything up. Fold it over. Allow ourselves to lengthen out. And then we're going to release from there, come into a deer pose, and it's a twisted version. So we start with the legs out in front. Sit up nice and tall. We'll take the right leg, fold that underneath, and take the heel out to the outside edge of the hip. So you want your right knee to pointing towards the front end of the mat. Lean out a little bit to the right, bend the left knee, bring that up to the floor, and have the shin just drop into the arch of the foot. The toes of your left foot pointing towards the back of the mat. We're going to take a little breath from here and just allow ourselves to turn in towards the left side. So we're going to use the right hand out onto that left thigh and take the left hand around and see if you can find the right thigh. And sit up nice and tall. Now, if you can't find the thigh, you can always use the trusty waistband technique to get the fingers around a little bit further. You're just trying to ease the left shoulder back as you look over that. Trying to get both sitting bones on the floor. Noticing whether your spine is upright or bowing out to the side. If it is, you're going to try and draw it back more into a straight alignment. So we're just rotating through the spine. The legs are quite active. And then we can release from there. And we'll just take it out to the second side. So untangle. Take a little breath. Left foot drops in and under. Lean out a little bit. Bring the right foot back. Right knee, get sitting bones close to being on the floor. Allow the body to sit nice and high. Rotate around gently. So we're going to take that right hand around. We'll try and find the front thigh here, but if not, just tucking it into the waistband and then looking over the rear shoulder. Again, thinking about where the body is, it's quite tangled. Lots of different bends and leans coming into the body in this one. So it takes a little time to kind of work out where you think the body is and what you need to move or how you need to move. Assuming you can make some movements. Try and relax that back shoulder as you draw it round. If you fight it too much, it just adds tension into the body and stops the breath. I'm trying to work with it. And we'll release from there. Let ourselves lean out, untangle the legs. Give them a little shake. Drop onto the bottom. Move the blocks all the way to the back of the mat for our heads. So knees high, hands behind. Just roll the spine gently down to the ground. We'll take a final spinal twist here. So we're going to take the knees together, feet wide version. And we'll scissor the legs over to the left side to start with. And then turn the head to the right. And see if you can get a feeling of lengthening the hips away. Try and keep the feet a little flexed. And we'll lift the knees back up gently on an exhale. Realign if we need to. And then working over to the right side. So easing down first, seeing where we get to, then lengthening the hips away. It's almost like someone's put their hands on their hips and they're drawing them down towards the other end of the mat for you. And then take that little bit of a flex into the feet. Feel the muscles in the thighs and the calves and the shins tightening up a little bit. And we'll finally bring the knees back high and slide the heels out to the corner edges of the mat. And just let the arms come a little closer to the body so we can release the shoulders down. Eyes closed and jaws soft. And we'll start to gently stretch fingers and toes. Allow the wrists and the ankles to join in. Deepen the breath a little. Use that energy to stretch out. And ease the knees in towards the body, one leg at a time. Take a nice, gentle, easy roll from side to side. And then easy on to our right side, using the hands to lift gently from the floor. You can come back up to a sitting. In a tall position, bring the hands to the heart. You close the eyes, take a breath. Chin drops. Belly draws, we bow gently to the floor, sealing our practice for the morning. Inhaling, lifting the body back up, opening the eyes. Namaste. Have a lovely morning.